Well, these are the names of the police officers who have died in the line of duty across Ontario. The names of officers who have died by suicide, though, have been banned from this wall. That is about to change after a lengthy negotiation between Toronto Police and the Ontario Human Rights Commission, which has ordered Toronto Police to change that policy in 6 months. And it is all because of the battle of one family, the family of Sergeant Eddie Adamson. This was the night Sergeant Eddie Adamson's life fell apart, March 14, 1980. His partner, Michael Sweet, was shot to death during a botched robbery turned hostage-taking. 25 years later, Adamson ended his life in a motel room surrounded by newspaper clippings of the tragedy. For years, we have been documenting the uphill battle Adamson's widow and daughter, who is herself a police officer, the battle they faced trying to have their dad's name put on this wall. This, a makeshift memorial on a wall in the family home, is as close as they've ever come. But today, the battle ended. The Ontario Human Rights Commission has given Toronto Police a deadline.
As of the end of October this coming year, that officers who die by suicide will have the opportunity, their families will have the opportunity to apply to have them memorialized on Toronto Police Service's memorial wall.
The police union has not been supportive of including the names of officers who died by suicide, but says it will not fight this order from the Human Rights Commission. When we've spoken about this in the past, you've been supportive of a separate wall. Yes. For people who die by suicide, right. For officers who die by suicide. That's correct. Is that something you would have preferred?
Again, that's something that we thought was a good resolution to address the issues and to differentiate between people who died while they were at work and people who died or succumbed to an injury from work, and we've seen that in other jurisdictions. So I thought that would have been an easy solution.
A number of years ago, Eddie's widow explained to us why her husband's name deserves to be here.
Ed died that night. The Monroe brothers, they didn't kill just one officer, they killed two. My husband just took 25 years to die.
In a telephone interview, Julie Adamson describes her feelings after spending tens of thousands of dollars in legal bills and dedicating years of her life to this.
The first thought that came to my mind is that it's been a really long journey, and I'm very relieved that we've finally come to a deadline that this has to be put into place, and therefore we can start moving forward with potential names being added to the wall.
While this settlement involves just Toronto Police, it is expected to be more far-reaching.
We hope that police services across Ontario are made aware of the settlement, and we will make efforts to ensure that chiefs of police are aware of the settlement. And they should expect that officers, families of officers who, for example, have died by suicide because of PTSD may be approaching them for inclusion on their walls.
Now, we were expecting to get comment from the Chief of Police, his reaction to this, but because of the story that Shauna was mentioning just a short time ago about the disruption at the Police Services Board meeting, he was not available for comment. To get a sense of the controversy surrounding this and the people who do not want officers like Eddie Adamson on this wall, you can go to our website and you'll find out the story of the widow of this man, Detective Michael Irwin, who died back in 1972. He was shot to death in the West End. You'll be able to hear and watch the story of his widow explains why she is against today's decision.